Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Barcelona. My name is Toad. You're watching Visordown, and this is the launch of the updated and revised Yamaha R125. So it looks a little bit grey, dreary, cold, rainy, and very British over here in Barcelona at the moment, but I can guarantee you we have been blessed with some absolutely perfect weather for testing a bike just like this today. So this has been an on-road and an on-track test. So in the morning, we rode this bike over to a circuit, and it was a kind of a supermoto go-kart circuit. And then we did some track sessions on it. So we had a half-hour session and then rode ourselves back to the hotel. It's been an absolute blast. I really want to tell you all about it. First and foremost, this bike here that you can see has got the sport pack fitted to it. So we've got an Akrapovic exhaust pipe, we've got a brake lever guard. This one's fitted with a quick shifter also. It's got a tail tidy and it's got the tank pads. So they're all part of that sports pack add-on kit that you can buy through the Yamaha accessory store. It is £5,302, and if you put down £2,000 as a deposit, which is roughly the price of about a 3-year-old bike, you're going to be paying just 44 quid to buy this on a PCP. I spend more on fuel in a week than 44 quid, so it is really good value if you're looking at a PCP deal. It is a 125cc, obviously CBT compatible, learner legal. We've got 15 horsepower, 14.7 brake horsepower and 11 kilowatts. We've got 8.4 pound-foot of torque, which I've got a classic Ducati at home, and some of the bolts on the engine, you have to torque them up higher than that. So yeah, it's not groundbreaking, but as a learner bike, something to go out there and start riding sports bikes and learn your craft and ply your trade, this is a perfect starting point. And there aren't many others in the realm from big name brands like Yamaha. So what's new with it? Well, quite a lot. This is quite a significant update for the R125. We kind of knew it was coming when the R7 arrived, because the R7 took on all of the DNA of the R1 and the styling of the R1 and that look and the feel of the R1, and then it brought it into a middleweight capacity segment. We always knew it was going to happen to this bike, and I've got to say that Yamaha have done an absolutely stunning job of how they've applied that same R DNA, that R styling, to the lightweight class, because they've got it absolutely bang on. You've got the front end, the face with the LED DRLs and the central headlight, just like the R7. I mean, you will pull up behind people on the road and they will think you're on an R7. To people who don't ride bikes, they'll just think you're on a big super bike or something really, really fast and powerful, and they'll think that you're just going to breeze past them. In actual fact, you're going to have to work pretty hard to get there. It's got 41mm KYB suspension, non-adjustable, and we've got a KYB rear shock, which is adjustable for 5-stage preload only. We've still got the same Delta Box frame, and we've also got the same asymmetrical swing arm, which is a very nice, classy looking bit of kit. Sometimes in this sector, especially the kind of lightweight 125cc sports bike sector, swing arms can look a little bit crappy. They're kind of made out of box sections of aluminium. They might have a little bit of bracing around them, but they're not very attractive pieces of kit. This is a cast item, and it is a cast aluminium item, should I say, and it is very easy on the eye, and you know, it's cast aluminium. Who doesn't want that on a bike? It just looks great. Top to bottom, everything about it. New stuff. So it's not just the styling that's changed. Chassis-wise, all of the suspension, the frame, the swing arm, all of that stuff is basically the same. The big stuff has happened up here, really. So we've got a brand new TFT dash, which is very easy to read, very evocative of the R1 dash. You've got different riding modes for the dash, so it doesn't change the engine performance or the engine character in any way. but you can flick from track, which has got like a lap timer, and you can go to road mode, which has got a bit more information, engine temperature, your indicators, your lights, and all the rest of it. Or you can have that track dedicated mode where you fire your lap times in off the headlight flasher, and it will then log the lap times that you've done every time you cross the start finish line. I don't know how many people Yamaha think are going to take these things on track, because I guarantee it's not very many. Seems as they're not allowed on official track days, but it's a nice thing to have. Another cool feature of the bike is we've got like an R1M-like sort of like cast top yoke or triple clamp, top triple clamp, and it's got the little, it almost looks CNC machined. But yeah, really cool feature. Not seen it on any other 125 learner legal sports bike, so it's a nice thing to have, and it just gives the bike a real nice premium feel to it. So what have we been doing? Well, the roads around here have been brilliant. Yamaha picked out some classic roads for us to ride, and we've had an absolute ball on the bike. Two things that stand out. I think its handling puts it right at the top. The R125, or the YZF125 as it was originally known, it was always kind of the best handling bike in the class. It was the one that you looked at and it just felt like a proper sports bike. Now, it really in the sort of the more premium end of that sort of 125cc sports bike market, the biggest competitor for this bike is the KTM RC125. And I've ridden that extensively. I haven't done track sessions on it, but I've ridden it on the road extensively. And from what I can gather, this feels a little bit more forgiving. The suspension isn't soft in any way, shape or form, but it just feels a little bit nicer. The chassis is a little bit more balanced. It could be because this is a Delta box frame, as it's a Yamaha, and not the sort of steel trellis of the KTM. But it just feels overall like a more forgiving package that you can ride fast, you can push it hard, and you get great feel and feedback through the suspension. This has also got radially mounted brakes. They're not new for this year, they were on the previous generation bike, but I've got to say the brake lever feel for a starter bike, for a bike that's designed for somebody who's going to be going out there and learning how to ride and learning how to ride fast and enjoy themselves on two wheels, the brake feel on the front brake is absolutely lovely. It's not too progressive, just sporty enough that you can get into the bite of the lever and start to play with your braking power as you're trail braking into a corner. But it just feels so lovely to use those brakes, feel the bike diving down. You've got radially mounted calipers, like I just mentioned, and you've also got semi-floating discs as well, which is quite a unique feature because it's not something anything else in the class has got. Everything else has got solid discs or fixed discs as they are. It's a nice touch, and it just really emphasises the sporty characteristics and the RDNA of this particular model. Another new thing for the model, we haven't just got the new TFT, we've got kind of all new switchgear, and it's got the switchgear off the R1. So you've got the thumb wheel on the right hand handlebar to change the modes. You've also got the nice sexy looking red stop start button, and you've got the same switchgear off the R1 on the left hand side. I've never been a fan of the thumb wheel. I found it really clumsy. I had it on an MT-09 long termer that I had last year, and it just used to piss me off. But on this, I don't know, because it's a brand new model, it's a brand new bike maybe, it seems a lot more accurate. You can turn the traction control off on this bike if you want to. You'll struggle to do wheelies on 15 brake horsepower, but it is possible. I've seen it happen today. So you can turn the traction control off with the thumb wheel, and it seems much more accurate than the R1 and the MT-09 that I was riding last year. Another big feature of this bike, and this is something that Yamaha are really pushing, is the connectivity to the TFT with Bluetooth. So you can get your calls, texts, all that sort of good stuff through the TFT dash. This afternoon, so I've got all the boring stuff out the way really. So this afternoon we just went for an absolute play on a track. Like I said, it's got no relevance to the real world really, because owners of an R125, they're not going to be taking it to a track. They're not going to be doing track days unless you go along to a supermoto day and just get murdered by 160cc supermotos. But we took it to a supermoto go-kart track and we had an absolute ball. And apart from reaffirming to me how unfit I am, it really did nail home how good this thing is as a sports-focused motorcycle. It is phenomenally quick. Corner speed, that's all it's about. It's just corner speed, corner speed, corner speed. It's so light, so nimble, and so flickable. We had an absolute ball. When we were riding back to the hotel, we were riding a lot of dual carriageway work, and there was a big group of us, about 5 riders, all really close together, and all it was slipstreaming all the way. We're sitting on each other's back wheel, overtaking the person in front, and then getting overtaken by everybody else again. It was a hoot, and it just reminded me that when we come on a motorcycle launch, sometimes you can put us on 200 horsepower super bikes or super nakeds with all the electronics and all the gizmos and everything, and take us to a sunny country and fire us off into the countryside, and we'll go and ride bikes. And when we get to the coffee stop, we'll all sort of stand around and just chat about what everybody's been up to. When you get on a 125cc launch like this and you have rides like that, it completely changes, because as I am now, we all turn into babbling wrecks, and we're just talking about how much fun it was and how much we were enjoying the ride and how we were all taking liberties with each other, and did you see that overtake? And it's just fun, and that's perfect, because that's what this bike's designed to do. This bike is designed to get youngsters, hook them into the world of two wheels, and just give them an introduction to the enjoyment that you can have on a motorcycle. And I think that's really good. The price point's good, the comfort's decent, a little bit risky on the top end, but other than that, it's absolutely fine. And you've got technology that you don't get anywhere else in the sector. I don't think there's anything else that offers you the level of tech and equipment that this thing has got. I think it's very good. I quite like it, and I think I'm going to be asking for a go when we get back to the UK, because I want to see how it handles the UK roads with that lovely compliant suspension. Listen, I have babbled on for about 10 minutes now, so I am going to head to the bar, get myself a beer, and I will see you lot on the next one. And if you've liked this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of Visordown's latest content. And for all the latest news, reviews and motorcycle features, get yourself over to visordown.com. Thanks very much, folks.